See where they spot this and whether or not they're going to require a measurement. Clock stopped at 11:50. Rich Rodriguez, you got a shot there. Elvis Dumerville out of Jackson High School in Miami. And, of course, everyone around football knows the talent available in South Florida. Miami, Florida, and Florida State don't get every single one of those guys.
Absolutely not. And, again, where a guy like this slips between the cracks is he's under 6 foot tall.
Right.
So you're saying, where's he going to play? He's a lineman. He's under 6 foot tall. But every now and then a Dwight Freeney comes along as a player who played for Syracuse, as you remember, a great pass rusher, an Elvis Dumerville, and they come out and they can flat do it. First down, West Virginia now.
Now let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. He had 1 touchdown earlier. Michael Bush added 1 more to make it 24-7.
Again, here's his power up the middle, makes his quick sidestep, found him in a hole and into the end zone. A quick sidestep. They had his hole filled in, makes that little sidestep shuffle, kept going forward, got the touchdown.
Fresh set of downs for West Virginia. They're not a quick scoring offense, and they need to be. Look out here. Johnson has Bednarik wrapped up for a major loss of 13 yards.
I think Johnson's ready to come out there and amend for himself and have a big game. And again, with only 2 receivers going downfield, there's just nowhere to throw the football. And it's just not an offense that, right now, not an offensive passing game. As Bednarik, you see him go down, an offensive passing game that gives them a lot of opportunities, a lot of options. Again, watch the faking here. They're going to try to fake the ball right there.
They worked on one guy, but not him.
No, not from the outside. Again, they're not going in with a fake inside.
Well, it doesn't help when 300 and some odd pounds of Montavious Stanley
yes.
comes in there at the end and land on his leg. You see Pat White, who will have to come in for at least the 1 play.
Pat White's probably a little better runner. Well, definitely a little better runner than Adam Bednarik.
Well, tonight on ABC, 3 of television's best dramas are back to back to back. At 8 Eastern, 7 Central, a chance to see Lost on Saturday night, followed by the new hit Invasion, and then Commander-in-Chief starring Gina Davis. So don't go anywhere. Settle in the night with ABC, starting with Lost at 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
A little baseball with that back-to-back-to-back.
How about that, huh? If you watch Lost, that show is driving people crazy.
My wife and kids are not away from the TV 1 minute for Lost.
I tell you what, there are people I know who watch the show and then go to the internet and spend 90 minutes on message boards trying to interpret everything, which means obviously somebody out there really likes it. I'm Dave Lamont along with Terry Bowden. We don't want to forget about our friend Trenny Kuzniak down on the sidelines. And right now, this is the last stand for the Mountaineers. Yeah,
the Mountaineers have not been able to establish any big plays. It's drives, it's short gains. They've got to put it together now. With the inability to make a big play, they've got to get it going right now because time's running out. So a touchdown drive right here, they're still in the ball game, but it's got to come now.
Well, I was going to say, it's got to come quickly, too. You've got 11:20 to go, but West Virginia hasn't shown the ability to strike quickly.
Well, and again, Louisville, too. Louisville has shown something they haven't shown earlier in the season. Long, sustained drives. That's what they do with long, lots of time possession drives. That's been the difference for Louisville this year.
And you see Bednarik having a tough time there. Trenny will be right on top of that with an injury report. For the meantime, the keys of the car go to Pat White. Left-handed quarterback. Interesting thing about how these quarterbacks and centers had to adjust. We found out when we talked to the West Virginia players yesterday.
They have really had to adjust. You've got your center. It's kind of funny because Dan Moses had never played center until the Maryland game. He's a left-handed center. I've never had a left-handed center. He's got a right-handed quarterback and a left-handed quarterback. And folks, let me tell you something. Under the center snap, you've got to have a quarterback change. So Pat White decided to take his handoffs right-handed with his right hand up and made it a lot easier. But you talk about difficulty. That was a difficult situation when they moved him in the center.
That was a huge loss. 2nd down and 20 as they finally decide to make that spot. White gets loose for a few yards to try to cut that down. He picked up 6 on the play, but look how many Louisville defenders are in the immediate area who can lay claim to having a piece of that tackle, but it was actually Gavin Smart, number 27, who made the stop.
As you said, there he is with his left hand again. As you see, this is a shotgun snap, but that's what he had trouble with first. Against Maryland, the first couple of shotgun snaps, it was over the quarterback's head, but he got better and better at it. And now he's doing it very well, shotgun or under center. And for a left-hander, sometimes under center is more difficult.
And Moses, of course, only his 5th game as a center. He began the season at guard.
Yeah, he'll be playing on Sundays. This guy can play football. He'll be playing on Sundays.
What a tremendous catch by Renaud into Louisville territory and just past the sticks for a first down to keep the drive alive.
Not just a tremendous catch, but a tremendous throw by Pat White. Watch Pat White now as he gets pressure. Watch him roll to his right. He gets pressure. He's got people all over him, not able to step forward, and still has enough strength in his arm to make that completion.
16-yard gain, keep the drive alive. That's what it's about right now. Ripsey was in there putting the pressure on, but Renaud made a fine catch. They go to the ground to Slayton. And they bottle him up rather effectively. There is Stanley one more time. Let's get an update on the injured quarterback, Adam Bednarik, and Trenny Kusnarek. There we go. Got that out easily.
All right, guys. Well, Adam Bednarik has a right foot sprain. It is doubtful that he will return to the game, and he really is a tough kid. He's played this whole season with a shoulder injury, and before he went in on the last drive, he sat and was getting ice on his face after getting poked in the eye through a face mask, guys. All
right, Trenny, thank you very much. So now it looks like it may be Pat White's job for the final 9.5 of this game. Trying to hit the middle, and the receiver got knocked down. That is a penalty. Nate Harris caused the interference, trying to go to Renaud again that time.
Pass interference, number 10 on the defense, 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, first down.
Yeah, feet just kind of got tangled up, but I guess you got to call a flag if he had a chance to come catch it. If there was any way the receiver could have caught the ball.
Well, not much you can do about that if you're Nate Harris. It's just one of those little mistakes that happens. However, for West Virginia, it's a big deal. Moves it to the 30-yard line. The conclusion of today's game, Terry and I will select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Tell you what, it's going to be tough to pick one from Louisville from their offense today.
You're exactly right. Three big-time players.
Going for the end zone. Caught spectacularly, but he's out of bounds. It was a great catch, but it will not count. That's Steve Slayton, who showed the ability to catch the ball. That's a fantastic catch, but Brandon Sharp made sure that he was not in bounds.
Again, watch the end zone. See the back coming out of the backfield now. The quarterback's got a trail route by the back. He will make the throw over the defender just to step outside. But, you know, you got to do that some. You got to take the defensive backs and push him away from the line of scrimmage. You got to threaten deep if you're ever going to get people off of your running plays.
A nice throw, too. Just great coverage that time by Sharp. Well, Louisville won't get their 60 points, Terry, but they've been impressive on the road in this game.
They needed this game. This is the kind of game they needed. Sustained drives, patient, mature decision-making.
And now trouble for White. Trying to get around Elvis. And here come a lot of white shirts. Threw it up for grabs, incomplete. And that ended up with Slayton becoming the defensive player as he was completely covered that time by Brandon Cox. Talk about a zone blitz. Cox is a defensive end.
You know what? Still, though, here you've got all the time in the world as a quarterback. Doesn't have a receiver that can get open. He doesn't have a receiver that's getting themselves open. And finally, he's got a chance to throw the ball there by somebody who's just broken his route. There's the throw. Defensive end gets his hands in just in time. Great defensive play. You'll get your hand in between the ball and the receiver's hands to knock it down.
Cox has a 6-inch height advantage on Slayton, too. Cox is 6'4". Slayton is 5'10". Third down and 10 for the Mountaineers. Obviously, they're in four-down territory every step they take now.
Well, this is an entirely different offense that we're seeing here now.
This is not a typical Rich Rodriguez-style offense. Lee and his coaches love to run the football. That time incomplete for Daryl Jallo. And brings up 4th down and 10.
I mean, they're putting some pressure on Pat White now. They've got him in the pocket. They've got a chance to zero in on him. He takes a hit again. Big little bit of hands in the face mask right there. And you're not supposed to come down in his head. But
NFL would have called it, I can tell you that right now. Of course, they tend to call everything.
They're not going to touch that quarterback in the NFL. Rich Rodriguez.
Quarterbacks sell too many jerseys, that's why.
You know, Rich Rodriguez is about as good a coach as I've ever seen in the passing game when he wanted to do that.
Right
now,
true.
he's set on the run game is what he's doing right now. He feels like that's the best chance he has of winning football games this year. But I know he would like to develop a better passing attack here on 4th and 10.
Yeah, right. He has done it before. White on the run. Eludes a few defenders and gets the first down and gives this crowd some hope in Morgantown. Tackle made by Malik Jackson.
I mean, you got White. He's going to sit down here, and he's going to try to find an opening in here. When the pass rush develops, it opens things up. Now, he's going to just look around, watch. Now, there's the big gap hole, a three-man rush. It's going to be a hole when there's a three-man rush because the two outside ends, whichever way the nose guard goes, the quarterback's going to go the other way, but usually that guard isn't enough.
And White gets it inside the 5. Nate Harris tripped him up. He also had help from Antoine Sharp and Brandon Sharp, but inside the 5. We did get word, by the way, officially, and Trenny had kind of hinted at that earlier, that Bednarik will not return, so it's Pat White's team the rest of the way.
Well, Pat White is giving them a little spark right now. If he could get him in the end zone right now, this could be a fun little game here. Get them in the end zone here, get them down by a touchdown field goal.
We'll go to Slayton. He'll score. All right, West Virginia's still in it. Believers still here in Morgantown, 8:16 left, and West Virginia is 2 scores away after the 4-yard touchdown run by Slayton. That is his second touchdown run. He also has a touchdown catch today. Second touchdown run on the season. The PAT makes it 24-14. Well, can the West Virginia defense hold? Because if they can, we really got an interesting game. Stay with us. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy. The new Chevrolet is an American revolution. By Singular, raising the bar. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper Butler. Dr. Pepper, one taste, you get it. And by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life. The power to help you succeed. With Terry Bowden and with Trenny Kusnerick, I'm Dave Lamont. Welcome back. We're in Morgantown, West Virginia. There you take a look at the 2 touchdown scores. Steve Slayton, the freshman, 1 touchdown in the second half on the ground and 1 touchdown catch for West Virginia to keep them in this game down by just 10.
Over 100 yards now. Steve has turned in a pretty good night today. Yep. 2 touchdown runs, and has been really their only spark on this offense.
Onside kick.
Onside kick.
I don't think they got it. Did they get it far enough is the question. And there may be, I don't see any flags though.
There is a flag right down there.
There you go.
Flag.
Yep, there it is right there. I didn't see it because it was blocked by the West Virginia bench.
The question is, can you block? I don't know why. I thought you could block for the defensive team before the ball is touched. But we'll see.
Again, the referee today, this all Big East crew, is Dennis Hennigan. He's talking it over with the field judge, Keith Parham, and the back judge, Gary Dansowitz.
What the West Virginia bench is saying is that, hey, we kicked an onside high.
Right.
We sent our men down to block their people, and we caught the ball beyond 10 yards. I know that's what Rich is saying because his men went down there and blocked, and I think that's what their question is. Was it so high? It would be like roughing like a punt. Or
Excuse
a
me.
You have to give a guy ability to catch the ball.
You know, he's discussing it, but he's not arguing it.
Right.
And as you know, and as anybody who's ever coached knows, there is a big difference.
There's no penalty on the play. The block was legal because the ball had gone 10 yards at the time of the block. First down.
That's big.
Wait, which way did he go, though? He pointed Louisville's way.
Yeah,
but I thought West Virginia recovered the ball.
He did. He made a mistake. He had to make a mistake when he said it was a West Virginia ball.
Yeah, it's definitely West Virginia's ball. And they will get it at their own 48-yard line.
So, see, as you can see, the ball had to have gone 10 yards before the block was made. Here, see the hot kick. Watch the block over there. The ball had already gone 10 yards.
Well, that's the second big special teams play in 2 weeks for Tandy Smith. He blocked a punt last week against Rutgers. A very interesting path he's taken to play college football. And now West Virginia, they suck this crowd back in, and they have a chance.
Now, there's the animation you wanted out of Rich Rodriguez that you're getting out of Bobby Petrino right there, as he felt the block was made before the ball carried 10 yards through the air.
Well, you go back a few shots ago. Of course, we're not going to do that now because the play's coming up. But you remember how calm he looked? He said, like, yeah, this is good. I like this. I'm getting the ball and everything. And now, of course, he's the one who's
hey, been there, done that. Let me tell you.
Dad gummit
I have watched that clock stop moving for an entire fourth quarter.
All right, so it's Pat White's game the rest of the way. Bednarik will not return. And they'll go with Slayton.
There's the pass.
Got got the block from his receiver, and he will take it down to the 29-yard line.